Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Disco Kevin and Pickle on their 2024 tour plans.
That is a great story. And actually that you mentioned, that may have kicked off some things or was just at a pivotal moment. I had been following your tour schedule. And yeah, I mean, this fall y'all were in Connecticut. I mean, you're out here again too, but in Denver. But yeah, it seemed like you really had expanded like geographically where y'all were playing. Is that true in terms of like the last 6 months or so?
Absolutely. Yes,
Yeah, we've
definitely.
played a lot of new markets. Definitely more new markets than we'd ever done this past year with the booking our booking agent we had. We said we were eager to just start, putting seeds in places we'd never played before and trying to grow as much as we can. And we did exactly that. And we're going to keep at it next year.
New van? What's the wheels?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we got a much nicer van. It was an upgrade.
it has heat and air conditioning. So
Yeah.
that's something we hadn't had in the past.
Yeah,
So
we
you're ending back up in Colorado at the end of January.
yeah,
Yeah,
we have
Colorado.
go ahead, Kev.
Oh, yeah, I think one of the most exciting things on our radar is the Colorado run that we're doing in late January. We're headlining four big rooms with the Aggie Theater in Fort Collins, to the Fox Theater in Boulder, Cervantes in Denver, and what is it, 10 Mile Music Hall in Frisco, 4 nights in a row, headlining all four shows. So it's really exciting for us. It's a really big opportunity that we're looking forward to.
And you're going to have 3420 out of three of the shows
Yeah.
with you.
Yes.
And then Bear Fuzz and Riding Carpets are going to be with you at Cervantes, from what it
Yep.
sounds
That's
like.
right.
Yeah, Bear Fuzz are some of our friends from the Midwest area. So I think this will be an exciting thing for them as well to get to kind of pair up with some other Midwest homies out in the mountains. So
Oh, that's great. Yeah, those are, I mean, like you said, they're fantastic rooms. And each of them, even though, they're all relatively close to each other, they're almost their own markets in a way, like you were mentioning. It's, the scene in each of those cities is similar but unique. Just living out here and kind of journeying around all the time. It's a great time of year to be playing out here too. People are out for skiing and they're going to be stoked to see y'all.
yeah, definitely. It'll be a little surreal. I remember just a few years ago, going out to when we were out. I went out there for like a trip that was not to play music, but just to go hang out, and we got to see some shows at the Fox, and then a little bit before that, we had seen Goose at the Aggie when we were kind of crossing paths with them out there, and it just seemed like then it did kind of feel like I was like, man, these rooms are a little bit down the road, but I mean, here they are. We're there, and that's really exciting and kind of gets us amped up to really put our best foot forward and kind of show what we're all about.
Yeah. How was your late night experience at New Conscious? I think that was in October. Interesting
Oh yeah.
place.
It was super late. I think
Yeah. It
we
was definitely a
played
late
till
late
like
experience.
till
It's
past
so late, it's early.
That
yeah,
it
the
might
last
hold the record for the longest single set we've ever played, because I think we played for like 3.5 hours roughly. And in the past we done some 3 hour sets, but I think that definitely pushed well past 3 hours and might have the record.
I was there for the first hour and a half, and sometimes I make it till the 4 or 5 a.m., and sometimes I have to tap out a little early, but you all were crushing it. So that's great. I mean, you're definitely making that trajectory. And then you're going to be, I know this is a little ways away, but you're back with Dopapod again also in the spring, I think, in March. And you had played with them in the fall. So it sounds like that's a really good relationship too that you've built with them.
Yeah, we're actually doing a hometown show, like where I'm living is Bloomington, Indiana, and they're coming through the Bluebird, which is like the venue here, and it's been a little while since we've played here, so we're kind of trying to bring them as much support as possible and really make their show at the Bluebird really awesome, experience, and just kind of make it the biggest party that we can for all of us. But yeah, so we're super excited about it, and Eli from Dopapod is definitely Jake's like one of his biggest idols. He looks up to him and really loves what he's doing. So I think he's nerding out the hardest on how excited he is.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
we're all
some,
huge Dopapod fans, so we're
um,
excited about those.
they're fantastic, and hopefully some sit-ins and stuff, as well. That'd be great.
That would be
Yeah,
cool.
definitely.
Now, let me ask you, what is Dizgo Presents Melt with Houseplant?
So this is our big headlining Indianapolis album release show coming up at the Vogue in February 3rd. So it's going to be like a week after we get back from Colorado. We have the album release show, and yeah, we have Houseplant, a really, really incredible band out of Louisville.
We talked to them a few times. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love them.
Yeah, we've always, since we played our first show with them in Louisville, we'd always talked about bringing them to Indianapolis. So we're finally making that happen. And Chalk Dinosaur.
They are road dogs, so that's cool that you're getting them out there to Indiana there. All right, so let's set list. Who writes the set list?
We do it. We've been changing the form of how this actually goes on, but lately, as we've been doing all this album work, Kevo has been kind of busy on the computer with doing album like arrangements on the songs and stuff, and I've kind of taken over writing the set list. But it's usually Kev and I bouncing ideas back and forth on each other, and we've been trying to find a little bit more of like, by reflecting on what's working, what's not, and trying to dial in our formulas for set lists a little bit more. There's just seems to be a few different recipes depending on what type of gig it is that tends to just do really well, as far as just like, I try to think of it as, if you're the perceiver, how do you comfortably move your body through an hour to 3 hours worth of time? How do you stay engaged but not over wear yourself out or overdo it on the ears, or have the right amount of musical elements involved at the right times, and then kind of end with the right energy, and starting with the right energy and stuff. So we've been kind of like focusing a little bit more on finding what are these things that when we reflect later and we say, man, that thing was just, or that moment in the show was amazing, or putting a cover a little bit earlier in the night was really effective this time. So essentially, yeah, I've been enjoying taking a little bit more time to kind of assess what formulas we have been doing and what could be better in the future. And then yeah, Kev usually kind of looks it over and kind of then maybe we'll go in and change some stuff, and then that'll lead me to another idea, and I change something and then he changes it, and then we're both like, okay, this is the one. So it's a little bit of tossing it back and forth, I think.
He's like the guy in Gladiator with the thumb.
Oh
yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. So you have certain songs that you think of as openers, closers, things like that.
Yeah, definitely. And there's such an art to writing set lists, about thinking of it as a linear performance of ups and downs and different types of moments that you want to have in that story.
So what happens if somebody, you're on stage, you're doing your thing, can someone call an audible? Like, how would that work?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Like, that's awesome. Yeah. So like, how would that be communicated, or is it just more of kind of somebody makes that decision, goes right into it, and you're all kind of right there with it?
We usually use talk. Yeah, we use talkback microphones a lot of times. So it's usually like you get the first wave of the information through the music, but then like sometimes we kind of like look around and like we just use a little bit of talk back to confirm what direction we're heading, so we don't just like stumble all over ourselves or something. But yeah, we sometimes it seems like when we're in a jam or something might happen, and it like we start kind of playing certain elements of something else, and we all kind of our ears hear it, and it draws our attention to it, and it depends on, are we in a situation where do we have some flex time, or is this is there a hard cutoff at the end of the set. And so if we have the wiggle room, we all kind of like are like, okay, yeah, let's take the chance, let's just go into this. And sometimes it's like even going into like a cover that we've never played before or something, but we all kind of generally know how to play it or something.
Those are the
there-
best moments. Seeing a live band, those are the best moments.
yeah, absolutely, they are risks. So you have to kind of always be also learning how to properly take risks the right way too, because they are important.
Yeah, they are. So what do you guys focus on when you're up there improvising?
It's all about listening, to the other players. It's the most important thing. Having a good headspace and not feeling too pressured to play everything the way you've done it in the past. Just trying to get yourself in a headspace where you can branch out into different directions that you've never done it, that you've never been taking things before, but in front of an audience. It's about finding that headspace.
Yeah, when I'm kind of uh, a lot of times whenever we jump off into a jam, a lot of times it's like guitar is kind of like on top. So as we are kind of engaging with what Kev is talking about there, I try to wiggle my way into something that I can find that is somewhat repetitive, but enough repetitive that I can start throwing variations in. And while in the first stages of this, I'm trying to plan out, okay, is this an idea that I can continue to build into multiple tiers? and and then what are those tiers gonna generally consist of? I don't usually think of like, okay, what notes am I gonna be playing, but am I gonna go into more of like is the next stage kind of a funky wah kind of oriented thing, or is this gonna go into like a lead distortion, kind of like soaring lead stuff? And so a lot of times as we start an idea, there will be times that like I will kind of veer us away from something because I don't feel enough potential energy behind it to continue with it. And so we'll just kind of meander onto some other topic and then try to evolve that and then go. And then other times we pick things that are hard to evolve and grow, to just challenge yourself to not do everything that's easy all the time. And that's definitely that can be challenging at times. But yeah, I try to premeditate a little bit as we're getting into those first few steps of an improv, and see, okay, can I bring this up to a level of excitement over the amount of time that we have kind of generally allotted here, and then also, is it gonna allow for a path back to back to the chorus or whatever we are going to be ending on.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.